communication is the number one predictor of sexual satisfaction in long-term relationships. Quality over quantity. Always. We all want the same thing. We all want to feel empowered, loved, adored, appreciated.
Well, hello, Dr. Tara. Yay! She's in the house. Woo! Yeah, we're going to get going here. Oh, you guys, I have such a treat for you today. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be an amazing conversation. And before, I talk to Dr. Tara, I'm going to just take a moment. I'm going to read her bio. And so you guys know who she is. And then we're going to get into all the questions and her story and all the things. So let me go there first. Hold on. Today, I'm so excited to welcome Dr. Tara, a globally recognized sex and relationship communication expert. She is a professor, award-winning researcher, and the host of the popular podcast Love Bites by Dr. Tara. She's also the author of How Do You Like It? A powerful and practical guide to building confidence, deepening intimacy, and learning how to ask for what you truly want in the bedroom. Dr. Tara's work has been featured internationally, from TV and magazines to her online community, where she helps thousands of people create more passion, confidence, and connection in their relationships. What I love most about her message is that she reminds us that we don't have to settle for surface level love, that communication, pleasure, and emotional safety can coexist beautifully. Thank you, Dr. Tara, for being here. I can't wait to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope you're having an orgasmic day.
Okay, this is going to be fantastic because I really believe that some of the, when it comes to romance and intimacy and connection, I personally believe that it really kind of starts out, and I know you're the expert here, and I want to ask you these questions, but I would believe that sometimes it really starts somewhat with like our confidence.
Yes.
And so before we really get started, can you just tell us a little bit about you, a little bit about your history? Because I know that you weren't always, talking about, pleasure and confidence and all these things. I know your background is pretty interesting. So
Yeah. So I'm originally from Thailand, from Bangkok, and I
Okay.
grew up in a quite a sexually repressed family.
Okay.
I also went to an all-girls Catholic school. And then before I moved abroad, I had like a couple of experiences in romantic relationships in my teenage years with girls because that's what all we knew. We were in an all-girls school. And then I went to a co-ed school in high school in Finland. It was my first time where my eyes were opened because I was now so far away from home. There were boys in the school for the first
You're like,
time.
there's boys.
Yeah, I was like, there's boys and I like them. And that was my first experience having a boyfriend, but also exposing to nudity because
Okay.
in Finland, people were using saunas naked. It's
Oh,
very common in Scandinavia and
okay.
many places in Europe to go to saunas naked. Like they don't sexualize the bodies. Like bodies are just vehicles, and they don't think it's weird to be naked. Like they just all go to saunas
They
together. So
all
that was
go.
my. They all go. Yeah, you can like have a grandpa, your mom, your dad, you, like your
Oh my
friend.
goodness. Like, it's not even a big deal.
No, it's not. It's not a
So
big deal.
that is actually okay. This is already fascinating from the beginning. But you
Yeah.
just said that you literally grew up in the opposite of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up in the opposite of that. Then I was exposed to that. And then I came to the United States to pursue higher education. And I received my master's and my PhD before I became a professor. So it took me 6 years to do my master's and my PhD. And throughout my studies, I have always studied romantic relationships. My very first published study, like my very first published research paper, was on strategies for successful long distance relationships.
Oh.
So I've always been interested in human relationships, but I wasn't specifically studying sexuality or intimacy yet. in school, I learned that the one of the most universal issues that people will experience at some point in their romantic lives is a sex issue. And it
Oh,
doesn't matter where you're from, what your ethnicity is, how much money you make, who you voted for, or what religion you are. Like
that's good.
everyone
Everyone.
will experience a sex related issue at
Okay.
some point in their
Okay.
lives. So learning that, I was like, wow, I want to be a solution to such a big universal problem. And that was when I started to focus on intimacy and sexuality research. And when I got my job as a tenure track professor at Cal State University Fullerton, I started teaching my class sexual communication. And now
No, that's
yeah,
so
it's so
good.
great.
Oh,
And
that's so great.
I've
Okay,
been there
sorry.
now for 9 years. So yeah, I've taught this class every semester. My students love it. It's the sex education that they have never received. And it's taught in a way that it doesn't shame anybody for their desires for anything. If they desire to wait to have sex after marriage, there's no shame.
I
If they
love that.
desire to sexually explore beforehand, there's no shame. If they
Okay.
have kinks or unconventional interests, there's no shame. So students really love that class, and they just learn so much personal development, and it's something unexpected in college for sure, but they love it.
I think that's fascinating that you're
Yeah,
able to teach that in college.
I
And
know.
I mean, wow, like, no, that's fascinating. I mean,
I'm very
wow, what
grateful that they allow me to do that.
no, I mean, obviously you're amazing at it because you know what I mean. I mean, your class is probably like, oh, it's on a waiting list.
Yeah, it is popping. Like my students love it. It's full immediately. But at the same time, I started this full-time professor journey for the 9 years. But
Yes.
when I started, I also was struggling with my personal life cuz I was I got married younger when I was in my 20s,
Okay.
because in my culture where I'm from in Thailand, people get married young.
Very young.
um and I just had this pressure that I should also get married before I turned 30. So I got married in my 20s, and even though I studied relationship
Yes.
satisfaction, communication strategies, all these
Yes.
things,
Yes.
my first marriage, it wasn't what I actually wanted. So you know I ended up going through a divorce
Okay.
a couple of years in. So that divorce really rocked my world in a non-sexy way.
In a non-sexy way, because you're married to the guy. How long were you married to the first husband?
We were together and married for 3 years.
For 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you
And
get a
so
divorce. You get a divorce,
yeah,
and that it awakened you.
yeah, I would say my huge sexual awakening for myself, like my personal development and shifting my mindset to like a growth mindset, was right when I was going through divorce, because divorce is like a huge shock in life, like
Yes.
a shake. It's like the universe grabs you and just shakes your body, and was just like
I've never
you.
heard it explained like that. It really is
Yeah.
like I've been through
Yeah.
divorce. It's
Yeah,
horrible. I mean,
it's
you're like you
horrible.
wake up, you're like, "What?" Just yes, you get to see all the parts of you. You get to really, and sometimes, sometimes you it takes something major like that to have an awakening. Like literally to
Yeah.
have an awakening. I didn't see myself really fully clearly either until after my
Mhm.
divorce. But for
Yeah.
you, it's sexually, it aroused something in you. You're like, "Hmm,
Yeah, and I'm so grateful I went through that, to be honest, because
yes,
during that time, I felt very ashamed of it, because I was teaching a class about sexual and relational communication. It was telling people how to have a healthy relationship, yet here I am, was going through a divorce. So I had a lot of shame attached to it. But I worked on myself really hard through various modalities, and I actually learned that like that is my superpower, because now I can help and understand people who have gone through divorce and have lost all their confidence, and now have to go back and date again and find sexual empowerment again. So it's actually a blessing in disguise because now I can actually empathize and understand people who have gone through divorce versus, other therapists or coaches out there that have never gone through it. Because if you haven't gone through divorce, you have no idea how
Right.
hard it is. Yeah.
It's hard. I've never heard someone go through a divorce. Write me if it's you.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
And was like,
that
it's so easy.
no, I've never heard that.
No, never.
No,
Me neither.
everybody, even like this is something too I've heard. Even like good people during divorce do things that you're like, who are you? Like, what just
Yeah.
happened? Yeah, there's so
Yeah.
many layers to it. But
Yeah.
I also believe that, like we just said, truly, it is, believe it or not, it is an opportunity, an
It is.
awakening, an
Mhm.
awakening. Because if you're going to get a divorce, we're not going to want to do that. We're obviously leaving for a reason. So let's
Yeah.
change it up. Let's
Yeah,
look.
you learn so much.
You do learn so much. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk there. Let's start there. When you got the divorce and you were a professor and you were like going through all this stuff, something that started coming up with you, like you said, was your sexuality. What did you start
Mhm.
learning about yourself? Like what was coming up when you got that
Yeah.
divorce?
I started learning that like my desires are extremely important and I should never try to
Mhm.
shove it down. I should express it and exude it in my energy. I shouldn't feel ashamed that I am a sexual woman, that I have needs, that I have specific preferences, and I should, in fact, build enough self-esteem to communicate my desires and my needs. And that's literally what happened after I like working on myself like so heavily and just really focused on improving myself. My now husband came into my life, and like we have the most incredible relationship and marriage, and I'm so grateful that I went through that divorce because it had prepared me to be a different woman.
Yes.
Not someone who just talks the talk, but someone that walks the walk. Because back then, when I was married to my previous husband, I feel like I was just talking the talk. Like I was a professor and I was teaching about this, but I wasn't doing it.
You weren't embodying
Now,
it. You weren't like
right.
embodying it. Now you're like, it's me.
Now, this is who I am. Like anyone you meet in my life will say that this is who I am everywhere I go. And I talk about the importance of intimacy and standing up for yourself and communicating your needs and desires everywhere you go. And that's why I think my book is called How Do You Like It? A Guide for Getting What You Want in Bed. So it's in bed is in parentheses because ultimately, when you build this confidence, it's just a guide for getting what you want.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
bed is just one of them.
Yes, yes, right. No, let me, you know what? You just brought up something. I literally had this question. I'm like, I feel like you're just reading. Okay. So I said here, this is the question I wrote down. This is good. This is good.
Mm.
You talk so much about sexual confidence and learning to ask for what we truly want,
Mhm.
which can feel very like really uncomfortable for so many of us women,
Yeah.
right? Like we're like, okay. Um, for a lot of women, we kind of we're like, okay, what does that mean? What do
Mhm.
you think gets in the way of that confidence? And what's one small step we can take to start communicating our desires more openly? So if women are listening right
Mm.
now and they're like, okay, I don't really have that much sexual confidence.
Mhm.
How can we start shifting that? What did some of the things that you started doing?
Yeah. So w- where our lack of sexual confidence comes from, based on research, it's typically the messages that we've been receiving in our culture and society about women.
That's fair.
Because our culture and society rarely shows sexually active women. And when a sexually active woman is shown in the media or in the cultural narrative, it's typically related to someone who is a slut, or like someone who is not worthy of being a wife or a wife material, right? And whenever someone who is a wife material is shown, it's a very innocent woman, very quiet, very subservient, and like she's a wife material.
Like she's not
So
gonna have sex.
no,
Like
but
what?
she's not gonna have sex because, like, the men that want to like marry that woman and then complains later for her not wanting to have sex with you. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. So this is called the Madonna-Whore Complex.
Okay.
And this is what's happening in our culture and society.
Okay.
So if there is this narrative that exists, as strong, powerful women that have growth mindsets, we can take accountability in changing that for ourselves. And the first step in changing this narrative for ourselves is to educate. Because the more information you have about your own sexual preferences, the more likely you're going to feel comfortable communicating them. A lot of times when I meet confident women, confident in work, right? Not confident in bed, I
Okay.
ask them, okay, let's say, let's do a role play. Like, you're on a date with me. I'm this
Yeah.
man. You like this man. He's handsome. He makes good money. He's interested in you. We're on a date. Like, talk to me, and tell me your preferences in bed. And she would be like, well, I wouldn't know what to say, because I don't even know. Like, I just like good sex. And I said, well, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like?
What does that
What
look like?
types of activities? She's like, well, I don't really know how to say it. And so that was my light bulb moment, when I was writing this book, is people need language in
Okay.
order to communicate, right? We're like, think of like the cavemen back then. They just go like, hoo, hoo, ha, ha, hoo, hoo,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
We're
yeah.
not like that anymore. We have
Okay.
language. But women and people out there, they need language. They need the words. Like, they need to
Love that.
learn what are their actual preferences. So the first chapter of the book is called "What's Your Sexual Profile?" and it's a sex
Oh,
personality test. Have you ever taken Myers-Briggs test? It tells you
no.
what your personality is.
No, no, no,
Okay,
no,
so
I
like it will
haven't.
tell you if you're introverted, extroverted, if you are more rational, or you based on your feelings, like things
Yes.
like that. So that's
Yes.
personality test.
Okay.
And
Yep.
this one is basically your sex personality test, like who you are in bed, what your preferences are, and how you like to express
Oh,
yourself.
I wanna take the test. Oh, that sounds so
Yeah.
oh, I wanna take that test. That's
So after
fantastic.
you take the test in the book, then it will tell you like what your profile is. That now you'll have 4 different dimensions, like the different words to
Oh my
talk about
gosh,
who
you
you
guys
are.
already seriously, that is so cool. Because I bet you a lot of the listeners right now, like, just like me, I'm like, "Huh, I wonder what it is." Like, "Oh, I'm so curious." Oh,
I
you guys
know.
will take the test. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the first thing you do in order to become more sexually confident is
okay.
actually education. Educate yourself and learn more about your preferences so that you have language to
Oh,
start
I
talking.
love that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really
Yeah.
good. Oh, that's good. You know what? And I'm just gonna say that you actually and how are you just like with my questions? This is kind of weird. You're like saying something the questions are so aligned with what I wrote. Okay, here you go. This is perfect. In your book, then, what you're just talking about, how do you like it? You share that good sex isn't just about technique. It's about communication,
Mhm.
emotional safety, and playfulness. I
Mhm.
love that. No, seriously, I love that. Okay. Can you talk about how couples can start bringing these elements into the relationship? Like if that's what it really is. And this is what another thing too I said when things have started to feel a little less, like a little less disconnected.
Uh, Here's the truth.
Okay.
Research found that in long-term relationships, you lose that sexual passion, the
Yep.
spark. It's quite common for long-term couples to evolve their sexual connection to something else. It
Okay.
doesn't mean that it's worse than when you first met. It just means that now it will look differently and feel differently. It can feel as good or even better, but you
Right.
have to shift your mindset. A
Okay.
lot of people I talk to, the first thing they go, especially the men, that's the first thing they go, well, when we first started dating, like we were having so much sex and there was a lot of passion. And then after 2 years in, like things have changed. What has changed? I'm like, well, lots.
Yeah.
Because now you are in a stable relationship together. There's a lot more trust. There's a lot more emotional safety. There's a lot more stability. There's a lot more emotional support. So there's a lot of perks outside of sex in long-term relationships that are
Yes.
healthy.
Yes.
But people don't take that into account when they are very sexually frustrated, right?
Okay.
So I often tell them, like, the first pitfall is to say, I want us to go back to when we first met.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
because that's not happening.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, your
I love
sex
that you
life is
said that.
never gonna be like the first time you met or the
I love
first few
that,
months of dating.
and you know what? I love that you're saying this because that's the expectation. That's how we fall into this little weird trap.
Yeah, people are like,
Oh,
how do we bring back the spark from when we first
it's
met?" I'm
not
like,
about that.
"You can bring the spark, but you don't bring it back from then because it's
Ooh,
different now."
listen to Dr. Tar. You can bring the spark, you don't bring it back. You make a new one.
No. New spark. Yeah, new types of spark and new types of activities. You can't go back. You can go forward. And if once you shift that perspective, you are now in such a good position to rewrite your connection story with your partner.
Oh, Dr. Tar, I love that because um I think right there too, just you saying that, that perspective, that really gives people some hope here because
Mhm.
um I hear so often that kind of that same thing like it's almost they feel damaged if it's not like
Mhm.
how it was in the beginning.
Right.
But the reality is, I love how you said life moves forward. We
Yeah.
change and we actually ladies, this is cool. This seriously, this is cool because not necessarily what you liked in the beginning, you know, maybe with your partner is what you're going to like as time goes by.
Exactly.
We as women, we actually change. So I'm gonna speak for me for just a second.
Mhm.
So you know, I'm young. I'm only 53. I just turned 53 a
Mhm.
couple days ago.
Ooh,
And
happy birthday.
much. And so um Charlene has honestly, truly evolved when it comes to my needs and what I like. And
Mm.
Miss Charlene back in like I feel like as time has gone by, I have been more open. Like I'm just more,
Mhm.
you know, thinking of different things and just wanting different things. And I really love that. So, me
Mm.
personally, I struggled for a moment thinking, "Oh, it's not like it was," but it actually is gotten better.
Mhm.
Okay, so I love that you're talking about this. Okay, so what does that look like for couples? You know, like when you write in the book, when it comes
Mhm.
to we can have a different spark.
Mhm. So that's why I talk about like communication, emotional safety, and playfulness
Okay.
because in my research based on 5,000 subjects, I
Oh.
found that communication is the number one predictor of sexual satisfaction in long term relationships.
Oh.
So if you are currently in a relationship and you've never talked about your sex life together, today is the day to start. You have to.
You
You
oh,
have
I
to in
love
order
that.
to maintain that satisfaction feeling.
Why aren't
So,
we talking? Why aren't we talking about that? What's going on?
yeah.
What have you
So
found out?
so communication about sex in your relationship entails two different things.
Okay.
One is micro sexual communication, which means giving feedback during sex. Second one is macro sexual communication, which is having a conversation about your sex life, your expectations, your desires, something you want to try, um, something that you may feel insecure about. It's having like a big conversation about your sex life together, and this should not be in bed. This you should have over like coffee or on a hike or on a beach walk where it's relaxing and
Okay.
it's a context that allows for a bigger conversation. I suggest that people do macro sexual communication, like this check in and communicating about desires and expectations, about like at least once every quarter, because people change and
Yeah.
life also happens. You know, if there is health issues, if there is children issues, if there's something going on, things can shift. But maybe you're planning a vacation, you can plan a little bit of fun sexual exploration on your vacation. That can change. So every season of life, your sexual preferences and your libido will be different. So that's why talking every quarter about these things is like really important.
Oh, I
um
love that. Can you give us like for the listeners right now, they're like, okay, doctor, how I love how you're already setting them up. This is not a bedroom
mhm,
talk. This is a real, we're just gonna talk to each other, kind of do some, you
mhm,
know, finding out what's going on. If someone is listening right now and they've never even had that conversation, like you just said, about communicating
mhm,
outside of the bedroom about sex and
mhm.
how can they start that? Like, what can you tell us as a woman? Like, is it just, what do we say? I'm like, buddy.
Buddy, not buddy.
I know.
But I use what I call the media mention method.
Okay.
You can say like, oh my god, today I was listening to Charlene's podcast and she has this like sex educator on or sex expert on, and she was talking about like you should be asking sex questions every quarter. It was so interesting. What do you think?
Oh, I like
That's all you
that.
need to start.
I love
You
it.
don't have to say like I want this or I
Okay.
want you to do this at all. You can just push the responsibility to this third party media that you just listened to.
Oh,
You
I
can
love
just say,
this.
yeah, I listened to Charlene's. There was this guest. It was so interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I love that. I'm so happy I
And,
asked you this question.
and
I
that
love
opens up a conversation to the spouse or partner to go like, oh, so like what sort of questions did she suggest? And then now you can say, well, she was saying like asking each other to rate our sex life last month. Isn't that hilarious? Like, what do you think? Should we try do it? You know, you can be
Oh,
playful in
you're
this conversation.
playful. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, if I ask my partner, because I've been away, I've been traveling a lot. If I
Okay.
ask my partner that, like, how would you rate our sex life this last month from 1 to 10? He'll probably say 2 because I've been away for so much. But
He's like,
like,
"My girl, you're not here."
yeah, exactly. But usually we rate about 8. So it really is a good start to a conversation because it's easier for people to like just sort of because when you ask them an open-ended question like how do you feel about our sex life?
Yes.
They might not know where to go. But
They
if
might
you
know
just
it.
go like, oh, I listened to this podcast and she said to ask like, how would you rate our sex life from 1 to 10? Then you can kind of go, haha, right? Like you can be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's so hilarious. What do you think? Like, how would you rate it?
Yeah.
Then it starts a
I
conversation
love the
because
playfulness. No, seriously, I'm loving this.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
really
because
love this.
your partner can go like, you know what? Um, it's been good, but I think we can do a bit better. So I'll score like 6. Then
Okay.
that's a conversation, right? Because then you can go, well, here's my perspective. And then you can start talking about, well, you know what? Like, what can we do together then to improve this score by 1 point?
Oh, I love that.
Gradual change. Yeah, we're not trying to have 10 out of 10. We're not porn stars.
You know what? That's really cool you're saying that because I think when you're talking about, oh, I love that you did this research. Seriously, that's pretty badass. But I love that when you're talking about you know, truly sex, intimacy. Wow. How can we not talk about it? Like what the? I mean,
But
how
then most people haven't ever talked about it.
but the way that you're talking about it is really a nice little gateway because this is what I want people to hear
Yeah.
too. This is why we need to talk about it. Like we really need to talk about it. And she just gave us truly like just a golden nugget on how to like start the conversation. Like seriously, thank you.
Yeah.
But the reason why you need to talk about it and you need to explore it and rate it is because every couple is going to be different.
Mhm.
Every individual is going to be different.
Yeah.
And so this is not a cookie cutter. This is not like, well, we're going to have sex, every day or once a week, whatever that means. No, you know what it
Yeah.
means? You guys get to decide
Yeah.
what's good for you guys, what's satisfying for you. Because if you're a couple that, let's say you're a one-time, intimacy, whatever, I don't think there has to be a right. And I'm going to ask you this question, but I don't think there's okay, to have a healthy sex life, you have to do it once a week. No. Because there are people who ask often, like, well, how many times we should do it? I always feel, and we're going to ask the expert, but I always feel that it's literally what you guys decide is good for you. What do you think, Dr. Tara?
Yeah, my expert answer would say quality over quantity.
Oof.
Always.
Yeah.
There are people that have sex every day
Okay.
and are not happy
And not happy.
and have terrible sex or mediocre sex,
Okay.
right? Non-orgasmic sex. And then there are people that have sex once every 2 weeks, once a month that are sexually connected and happy with their partner.
I
So
love that.
there isn't like a specific answer for every couple. It's always quality over quantity. I'm not someone that's anti having sex a lot in a week, but it has to be high quality.
High quality.
Yeah, meaning that the woman has to experience orgasm
I love that. I love
because
that.
the man experiences orgasms all the time, but the women
Why?
doesn't always.
Okay, and let me. Okay, this is good. You're talking about this. So, as a woman, and as a relationship coach, and so I work with women, in their relationships with themselves and the
Mhm.
relationships with their partners. And of course, some sex comes up. You know what I'm saying? I am
Mhm.
not the expert. I'm going to send them to you, but I know a little here and there. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but with women, I have noticed, and I want to talk to you about this. Often women don't feel that they necessarily should have orgasms every time.
Mm.
And I always felt like the opposite because I've always, as a woman, um, okay, you're gonna laugh at me, but it's okay. I don't think I've ever had sex and not have an orgasm.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing,
I
Charlene.
was
That's
like,
so great to hear.
okay, I was thinking like, what's up? Because I'm like, I thought that's kind of what it was too. I know it's
No, no.
interesting.
Like in
Okay,
my
can you break
20s
this
when I
down?
was yeah,
Okay.
in my 20s when I was explore casually, like a lot of times I've never had an orgasm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
terrible.
it's terrible. Okay. So you're talking now that women need to understand that that is something that we should be doing.
I mean, if you feel
Okay.
orgasmic during a sexual encounter or even when you self pleasure, it will have a lot of positive benefits. You will have the release and heighten of hormones like oxytocin, which is a love hormone with your partner. Feels you more. It makes you feel more connected.
Mhm.
Uh, Serotonin and dopamine, which makes you feel happier. It lifts your mood. It also improves your immune system. Orgasm also makes your skin better, your hair and skin better. So it literally improves, like it also improves your heart health. So orgasms are great for you. They're like medicine.
Okay.
So if you are engaging in sexual encounters with your partner, but you're not experiencing orgasms, you're only doing the part where you are almost like catering to your partner so that your partner feels good, so that you feel like you're doing something for them, but
Okay.
you're not doing something for you. And when you're having that kind of sex, you're not going to want to have a lot of it
Okay.
because that's not the kind of sex that gives you pleasure, gives you happiness, gives you the benefits. This is why a lot of women that I talk to
Okay.
in my practice, but also my students in
Okay.
college,
Yeah.
they will say, "Oh, I have a very low sex drive. Like I have no libido." But after going through protocol and checking with them, like they don't have low sex drive or no libido. They actually don't like the sex they're having.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay.
So
Okay.
if I do an exercise and I ask them, okay, tell me your celebrity crush. Who do you find extremely sexy and attractive? And they give me a name, right? Let's say Brad Pitt, right? Okay, let's say, Brad Pitt wants to take you out to dinner tonight. He wants to take you on a date. He shows up, fresh. He just showered. He looks so good. He treats you so well. He opens your door. He takes your chair. He pulls your chair. He helps you like he's great at conversation during
Yeah,
the
like
date.
you're
He
just having the
kisses
best time. Yeah.
yeah, he kisses your hand. He holds your hand. He pays for the bill.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and then he wants to kiss you, and then he wants to touch you intimately, and then he wants to make love to you. Do you want to have sex with him? The answer is always a resounding yes. So then you don't have low sex drive. You just don't
Okay.
like the sex you're having with the person you're having with at the moment.
Okay.
That's
That's
it.
good. That's it. That's it.
And
Okay.
it's okay. I think there's so much shame around women feel so guilty whenever I mention like maybe you just don't find your husband that attractive. they just go like, whoa, like, no, it's not that. It's not that. Like, I love him so much. I'm like, there is a difference, a huge difference between
There's a difference.
attraction and love.
Yeah, just
You can love someone and not be
right,
sexually attracted to them.
right,
You see what I mean?
right.
So I think there's a huge misconception that you can never ever say that you're just not that sexually into your husband. Like, at the moment.
At the
That
moment,
like, and
yes.
you love them dearly, like you do anything for them, you might even die for them, but it doesn't mean you want to bone them.
Yeah.
you know like, there is a difference. So you can love someone so dearly and just don't find them that sexually attractive, but you find Brad Pitt sexually attractive.
Right,
That's
right, right,
okay. I
right.
think
That's okay.
that's like first step, like for women. It's like, it's okay. Let's admit if that's something you're experiencing. Like, I am here to tell you there's no shame or guilt in that.
Right, because you're like, let's start with the shame. Let's start
Yeah.
with the shame because that's the shame really keeps us, oof, not experiencing pleasure.
Hmm.
If we're really, focusing on the shame part. I got that. So for couples then, so in your research, as you were talking about, couples that have, you talk about communication. So couples that
Hmm.
are in somewhat sexless marriages, but let's say they
Hmm.
had, a healthier sex life in the beginning.
Hmm.
Um, can this shift? Can this shift?
Yeah, they can 100% shift, and
Oh, I love it.
I've seen that in so many of my clients
Okay,
and the
talk about
retreats
that.
that I've been
Yeah.
on. Like, it's incredible to see people who go from sexless marriage, like haven't had sex for months or even years, to feeling sexually connected again. And here's the key.
Ooh. Okay,
The
okay.
key is non-penetrative sexual activity.
Oh,
That's it. There are
she's like,
so
that's
many
it.
That's it. There are so many sexual activities that allow you to feel intimate, erotic, sexually connected that doesn't involve penetration.
Okay, so break out with some of those. Like, give us some examples. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
This is good.
So some examples would be like, the first one is mutual masturbation.
Okay,
Is
okay,
masturbating next to each other. You have your vibrator, he has his hand, and then, you light a candle, you are in each other's presence, you feel connected. Maybe you even, touch each other's like arms and involve each other a little bit in foreplay, but then you basically finish it off yourself.
okay.
It's called mutual masturbation. It's very healthy. It allows for both of you to feel like, that sexual connection, because
Yep,
you're orgasming together,
got it.
but then it doesn't involve all the stuff that you have to do for intercourse. So that one is really effective.
Okay,
Another one is sexual meditation for couples. So meditation, first off, meditation is amazing. There's so much research on how it reduces stress, reduces your cortisol level, improves sleep, improves confidence, improves focus, clarity. People who meditate tend to make more money. Like, there's a lot of research on
wow.
meditation, but sexual meditation, it's like regular meditation, but it focuses on sexual thoughts and
Okay.
then sexual feelings and sensations in the body.
Oh,
So,
that's
like,
good.
it can involve, you know, it's a couples meditation. So maybe you're both sitting across from each other and holding hands.
Okay.
And then you do this meditation together. You can do it quietly by thinking about sexual thoughts, or you can use guided meditation, like an audio guided
Yeah, like an
meditation.
audio. Yeah.
I have a lot of free ones on YouTube if you
Okay.
want to try. Charlene, you might try tonight some sexual meditation.
That looks good.
I have a 5 minute ones. I have a few 5 minute ones and a few 10 minute ones. Basically, just press play, sit across from each other, hold hands, and then do the activity.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm
a lot
so
of
gonna
it,
do this. I'm gonna do it.
it's so
I'm gonna
good.
do it.
It's so
I
good.
love it. It sounds amazing.
A lot
I
of it
love
is
it.
breathing together, telling each other that you're attracted to one another, that you appreciate and adore each other.
Oh, I
And then
love
also
this.
involves like touching different areas on the body,
Where do I
like
find
touching
that? Where do I find that?
YouTube. It's on YouTube. If you just search Dr. Tara sexual meditation, it will come up.
Okay. Did you guys hear that? You got to search that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tonight. So I want you guys to
Yes.
do it too. Get on her YouTube, subscribe, and let's get into that. Like that's a
Yeah.
really good, quick, shift. I love that. Thank you
Yeah,
for
it's
saying
only
that.
5-10 minutes. It will help you feel more sexually connected to your partner, help you also feel sexier,
Oh,
which is always a good plus. So yeah, like there are a lot of these what I call erotic solutions to your relationship that like sex doesn't always have to be penetration.
yeah. I love that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is really like that connection. Oh my
I'm a
goodness.
big fan.
No, seriously. When in your research, I'm fascinated by this. I mean, this is crazy. In your research, there, like we were just talking about how couples, okay, that are in relationships, and we talked about, maybe if they already had a nice in the beginning, and then you said, but life changes and now they're not. Also, with couples, what have you noticed? And thank you for the tips of
Mhm.
just seriously, that alone, if people are feeling like, okay, how can we start a different connection again? I love that you just said that meditation. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's very practical and something you could just apply now. You could just do that now, right? That's really cool. Okay. When it comes to change and communication, if couples are also have had a pattern, like a really deep pattern of not being able to like explore, something different because they kind of been doing the same thing.
Mhm.
How do you suggest and where do they start if they
Mhm.
do want to like try something different?
You start a sex book club together.
Oh! Okay, talk about that.
Yeah. So in my book, there's a lot of erotic solutions, like so many sexual activities to
Okay,
try that
love
that's
that.
not like traditional. That's not just like, oh, try this sex position, right? Like it's various different activities.
Okay,
A lot of them don't involve penetration
okay.
and they're fun and
They're
playful.
fun. Okay.
So if you were telling your partner like, "Hey, you know what? I listened to Charlene's podcast, and then I heard about a sex book club, and I want us to do something fun together. How about the rest of the year? We read this book together, and then like talk about the contents of each chapter, and then like try one thing new from every chapter.
Oh,
That's it. That's
that's
all you
it.
need to do, and then." When you get a buy-in from your partner, like, you know what, like, yeah, like I'm open to doing that, I'm down to do that, then that's it. Like then each chapter I suggest like a few different things, just pick one thing, do it together, and that's it. That's a good reset.
That's a good reset. Oh
Yeah,
my
and you
goodness.
you do new things, things that you haven't been trying before.
Yeah, okay. You know what I'm loving? I love how you do the quick little refrain. The way that it's really um fun and easy. Um
Always I try to make sex so fun and easy because
you
it's like
are. Please
it's just
explain it to me. Why
hard.
are we so serious about this?
What?
What is it? What I mean, isn't sex fun? Like you are just so cute. Like honestly, I mean like it is just adorable the way that you're talking because
Thank
it does
you.
I love this. Um why do we have so much shame around it? Why is it not why it's fun but we get so serious about it? What have you found out in doing all this research?
Mm, I think a lot of it is just based on the language in our culture for the last few
Language.
hundred years,
Okay.
of like how sex is something that's supposed to be very secretive and private,
Okay.
and sex is, only to be talked about between husband and wife, and even husband and wife don't ever talk about
They
sex.
don't talk about it. Yeah.
It's just something you do. I think it comes from the idea that sex is for procreation, not recreation.
Okay.
So procreation means sex is only to make babies, not for
Oh,
pleasure.
it's for pleasure
And
too.
recreation means pleasure, right? We do recreational activities like we go on a hike, we go travel because it's recreational, it's fun. People in the past have had this framing of sex as procreation. You only have it to have babies, to carry
Oh,
on the genes. If you think of historically how prince and princesses and kings and queens get married, and all they have to do is to procreate, to make an heir, like that's the culture that we come
that's the
from.
yes. Okay.
Like a
Yep.
lot of times the woman has zero facial expression. She just opens her legs and then the king, like, insert an orgasm inside her, she has a baby, that's it, her job is done.
Like lions.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen like
literally.
lions, you know?
Even lions have more passion.
There you go. She's like, no, give lions a
Exactly.
little more
So
credit.
imagine, like, that was our ancestors. Like, of course it's in our DNA to find sex like not something that we should be celebrating, have fun, recreation, pleasure, right? Like, it's just to make babies. But
Mm,
nowadays, like, we try to reframe that. A lot of sexologists in the world, me included, are every day we talk about pleasure and why it's so good for you, because so many people are on, for example, like depression medication, and a lot of it, like SSRIs, it's like to help you experience more serotonin, which is like the happy hormones.
a happy hormone.
But did you know when you orgasm, we also produce serotonin? Like, if I think if
The
we
happy,
all have a great sex life and also great self pleasure routine, then it will help uplift the mood, I think, of the entire nation.
it is. No, and having
Yeah.
that healthy pleasure as an individual, it
Yeah.
really truly I mean, that now you're gonna get into the science of it. Like that's a real thing. That is
Hmm.
not just foo-foo talk. That is literally
No,
a
that's like
real thing.
literally science. Yeah.
Yeah, how our body actually responds to that type of pleasure. And I know, oh wow. That's why these conversations seriously are so important, because I
Hmm.
don't want women to feel that their sexual desires and what they want and things that they want to do, I don't want them to feel shame about that.
Hmm.
I want them that's like your birthright, like seriously.
Hmm.
That's something very powerful and beautiful for yourself and fun. It's fun.
So it is fun, and it's, I acknowledge it is hard to talk about, and I think
Yes.
that's why, like, on social media or on TV or in my column, like, I try to be very overtly expressive about sex, because I think if I am at 200%, then it will help women out there become like 80%
Got it.
in
Yeah.
in their communication. I had a new clip that I just posted that now has like over 200,000 views.
Okay, well
And
what?
I literally just said, I love fingering. I literally just said, I love when my partner fingers me. I think it's really hot. It makes me orgasm. I just love it. And like, that's all I said. But, for other people, it might be so wild to say that,
Yeah, they're like,
online.
oh,
But
right.
at the same time, I think I'm just giving an example of how you can say it with your partner. Like,
Yes.
that's what I say, and it reinforces also that he's doing a good job. So for him, it's also really good, and for us in our relationship, it's also really good. So yeah, don't forget to compliment your partner. Like, they love
Ew.
it, especially the women listening that haven't complimented your husbands or boyfriends for a long time in their like sexual skills. It's a huge boost of self-esteem for men,
Oh,
because
yeah.
like, men are programmed to be the sexual hunter, right? So
Yes.
if they have never received a compliment, like, that can be quite um disheartening.
Okay.
Yeah. But we also love compliments, so we have to teach men that, like,
Okay.
we love to be adored and worshipped and
Yes.
complimented. Like, the more compliments and adoration I get from my partner, the hornier I get.
Yeah, yeah. You're like,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yes, yes.
basically just use this clip. Just tell your partner, a sex expert says, the more compliments I receive, the hornier I get.
No, seriously. And ladies, I love that she's saying that. Definitely, you can
It's
definitely,
true.
do the same for your man. I mean, talk about a boost in confidence in your man. You'd be like, babe,
Mhm.
when ooh, yeah, he'd be
Yeah,
like,
you were so good at doing that or something like that. Yeah.
you're amazing. Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, I have another. Okay, so something else came up. You've worked with thousands of people around the world. What's one of the things that surprises you the most about when men and women actually want? Oh, well, let me get my glasses on because I went the biggest. Hold
Okay.
on, let me make sure read it again. Okay, you've worked with thousands of people around the world. What's one thing that surprises you most about what men and women actually want in intimacy, and how can you understand that And how what did I write? This is my writing. Hold on. And how can and how can understanding that help us build deeper connection and joy in relationships?
Mm. Uh,
What's one thing that surprises you?
One thing that surprised me is that there's not a lot of difference between men and women. I know
Oh,
that there's a book that's called Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus,
yes.
but ultimately, if you look at the research of what is it that men and women are looking for in a sexual encounter and in
Sexual.
a happy long-term relationship, we all want the same thing.
Okay.
We all want to feel empowered, loved, adored, appreciated,
Yes.
whether that's in the bedroom or outside the bedroom. It's just that people haven't been prioritizing that inside the bedroom. That's why the problem seems more significant. But ultimately, we all want the same thing,
I
and
love
we
that.
all need to take more initiative
Okay.
in making it happen.
Okay.
um how does your partner want to feel loved, adored, and appreciated? Ask them, how do they want to be loved, adored, and appreciated inside and outside the bedroom? What do they need from you, and provide that.
So you oh, that's good. Another nugget. Oh my goodness. Seriously. Because I'm noticing something really intimacy, great sex, all of these things. It truly genuinely starts with communication. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Because I think this is fascinating. Because automatically you would think, no, we're going to talk about the other stuff. No, it has to start with
Talking.
girlfriend. We got to talk.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk. Talking solves all problems.
It really does.
Yeah,
I mean, as
nothing
a community,
nothing else solves the problems like talking.
nothing else a program, and that's the muscle. You guys, and she's already honestly, and I just want to give her a big hug. Like she's already seriously already kind of gave us these nuggets on even how to start some fun conversations
Mhm.
with our partner. So it doesn't have to feel weird. It
Mm-mm.
doesn't have to be, uncomfortable. We don't have to like sit there, you guys, come on, really. We don't have to sit there and go, okay, we need to talk about our
Yeah.
sex life.
It can be very playful. Yeah, not like
Ridiculous.
that at all.
No, like that, no, it can be exactly what she said. I listened to
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah, I just listened to Charlene's podcast. She has this guest on. They were talking about this. What do you
It
think?
was
Like,
so much fun. You
that's
were
all.
listening.
Yeah, like they were laughing about this whole time. I just thought it was hilarious. What do you think?
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
that's
And you
it.
guys, and you know what's fascinating also? No, I'm just fascinated by you. Oh my goodness. But one of the things she literally told us, like the likelihood of her doing what she's doing now based on how she grew up in her culture is like, no.
None.
Like
It's like
like,
point zero 0.01%.
0.01%,
And here
okay?
I am.
Yeah, and look at her, like, she's like big time in this field, right?
So
So then
everyone can do it. Like everyone can have a great sex life. I believe in it.
I
Yeah.
love that because I'm saying if you could do it, we all can do it. There's no excuse, "Oh, I'm shy," or "I don't want to."
Mhm.
No, we can do
Shy
this.
shy can be hot too.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you can play shy in bed, and, like, a lot of people like that.
Oh, I like that. Okay, let me ask okay, oh my goodness. How did the time go by? Oh my
I
goodness, I told you.
know.
Okay, let me ask you another question then, and I'm gonna wrap you up. I know. Here we go. Okay, let's see that what I got here. Read my questions. If you can leave every woman listening with one truth about love, intimacy, or confidence, something you hope she really takes to heart, what would that be?
Mm. You know, me being a professor, I would have to say, continue to educate yourself.
I love that.
With sex, love, intimacy, there's always, new podcasts, new books, new articles, new research to be consumed and understood and learn more. Like I highly recommend just taking that initiative and continue to learn forevermore. Like I
I
still
love
do. People are like, "Oh, you're a sex expert. Doesn't mean you know everything?" Not at all. Hell no.
that.
Like I learn every day. Like I learned something new today.
Okay.
Uh 1 in 3 people in America have fantasized about having sex with a creature or a monster. And it's for Halloween. I was looking it up for Halloween, but like, there you go. That's research from Dr. Justin Lemiller, which is a very celebrated researcher in our area.
Yes.
So you learn something new every day, and just keep an open mind and keep learning.
Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. You are just amazing.
Thank
How do they get
you.
in your world? How do they get your book? I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
like where's the best place to find you and just truly get in your world?
So the best place to find me is my website. That's lovebites.co. That's LUVBITES.co. Lovebites.co. My book is called How Do You Like It? A Guide for Getting What You Want in Bed. You can get that everywhere where there's books. So Barnes and Noble, Amazon, my website, anywhere.
Okay. And if if I ever have a chance for you, but I'm putting you on the spot right now. If you're ever in Arizona, please, will you come back and come to the show? Because I film also
Yes.
locally at a studio, and I just think that it would be amazing. I can keep you longer, and we can even pull questions from the audience. But would
Yeah.
you do the honor and coming back one day? Because you got to come to Arizona one day, I hope.
I will. I went to school at ASU.
You did?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
wait, my
did.
daughter's going there right now. She's a
Oh,
little
I
fresh.
love ASU. It's the
You
best. I went
you
to
have
ASU. My husband went to U of A.
That's right. I think we talked about that because I have twins and I have Ella at ASU and then I have Owen of U of A. And
Love
when you
that.
one more question. When you guys were you guys together or knowing each other when you both or separate times? U of A and
Oh, no,
ASU.
no, no,
Oh,
different times. He's
different
older than
tot
me,
okay.
but
He's older than you.
it was cool to have that Arizona connection. And then now his family moved to Arizona, so they live in Arizona.
Oh, then you're gonna be here. Okay, cool.
I will be there and I'll text you.
You text me, let me know. Okay, you guys, wasn't that fantastic? And I know that I let you leave with that last question. Is there anything else that you want to say? Because seriously, this was so fun. And this was so honestly, it was fun and educational, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Like it was
thank
really
you.
great. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
my very last thing is just wishing everyone to have an orgasmic day.
I love it. Oh my God, I just adore you. Okay, you guys, to next time, cheers to great love. If you're loving this podcast and these incredible conversations, please hit the subscribe button and leave a 5-star review. Don't miss an episode because each week I'll be bringing on guests and experts who will share their knowledge about love, dating, and relationships so you can apply it into your own life. I'll see you next week. And until then, cheers to great love.